Hello and welcome again to Urban X-Files. My name is Keith and today's story is about the legend of Mothman. And this story sounds like a creation of an overworked comic book writer or a film script. A 7-foot tall, well-built humanoid monster with giant red glowing eyes and huge brown wings, a creature who can ascend to the skies from a standing position and fly at astonishing speeds, and who mutilates pets and instills instant fear into the hearts of all those who've seen him. Yet for over many years in the 1960s, more than 100 otherwise reliable residents of a small West Virginian town distinctly saw this horrifying figure, and it terrorized their community. What they saw was the legend that is Mothman. In early November of 1966, various sightings of a huge, strange bird were reported around Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in the United States of America. And on the 12th of November, 5 gravediggers preparing a plot reported seeing a brown human being. He took to the air from some nearby trees and passed over their heads. It was not until 3 days later that the creature really terrified the community with a close encounter. On the 15th of November, 2 young couples were driving together near the McClintock Wildlife Preserve, just outside Point Pleasant. The area is known to locals as TNT because it had been used as an explosive depot during the Second World War, and there were many abandoned chemical and industrial plants in the vicinity. Late in the evening, the 2 couples approached an old generator plant in the vicinity and saw that its door appeared to have been ripped off. It was then that they noticed 2 huge red eyes shining out of the gloom towards them. These hypnotic, staring, glowing discs were attached to what was said to be shaped like the head of a man, but bigger, maybe 6, 7, or even 8 feet tall, and it had big wings folded against its back. As the creature approached, the young group sped off, but as they looked back, they saw it take to the air, rising straight up without flapping its wings. It had a giant, at least 10-foot wingspan, and it kept pace with the car, despite the vehicle reaching speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour. Eventually, the group reached the Point Pleasant city limits, where the aerial pursuer turned away and disappeared back into the night. The couple then drove straight to the local police station and reported what they had seen. Although local police found nothing at TNT, they accepted the young people had seen something odd. Over the next few days, reports of a giant bird had been seen terrorizing locals came into police headquarters with increasing frequency. Car passengers and experienced the creature swooping down on them, and the reception on television and radio sets were being disrupted across the region with reports of a giant flying man figure with glowing red eyes. One man whose television failed lived in Salem, 90 miles from Point Pleasant. At the exact moment his television had stopped working, his dog had whined from the porch. The man had gone outside to investigate and spotted 2 red glowing lights in his hay barn, at which point his dog had run off. The man, stricken with fear, returned to his house, locked all the doors and the windows. That night he slept with his gun next to him, his dog sadly never seen again. Perhaps the most chilling story concerning Mothman happened on the 16th of November of 1966. A young mother was driving to see some friends who had one of the few houses close to TNT compound. She said she'd seen a funny red light in the sky, and she arrived at a friend's house, heard something rustling near the car. She said it seemed as though it had been lying down. It rose up slowly from the ground. A big grey thing, bigger than a man, with these terrible glowing eyes. She said, horrified. She grabbed his small daughter and she ran into the house, locking the doors behind her. The creature still followed, creeping onto the porch and staring in through the windows. The police were called, but by the time they arrived, Mothman had disappeared. And over the next year, Mothman was seen by many witnesses, including firemen and pilots. Gradually, the reports alerted into cases of UFOs, strange lights, and men in black. And at 5 p.m. on the 15th of December in 1967, the Silver Bridge linking Point Pleasant to Ohio suddenly collapsed. Sadly, 46 people lost their lives that night, and as a result, the residents of Point Pleasant were forced to deal with the real horror rather than these mythical beasts. Their creature's reign of terror paled into insignificance, and he was forgotten. However, many people still believe the bridge disaster may have been Mothman's terrible final act. There have been films made about Mothman, one called Mothman Prophecies. The other, believe it or not, is what the film Jeepers Creepers is based on. This massive beast of a man with wings and phenomenal speed and the ability to fly is seen. There is also rumours that suggest that he brought bad luck, which caused this bridge to collapse. Did he somehow do it himself? Who knows? We guess we don't know until next time there's another report of Mothman. Was he some alien figure? Right, it sounds similar to Spring-Heeled Jack, which is another story I've covered in the past. Spring-Heeled Jack didn't have wings, but he's said to jump so high and bound from the rooftops right across the city. So if you have any similar stories about Mothman prophecies and legends that are, please do leave them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I did, and if so, hit that like button, feel free to subscribe, and take care, and see you all in the next video. Peace.